Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the great state of Ohio, more specifically Cincinnati. And I am here in front of the Greater Cincinnati Police Museum. Now, I've heard some good things about this museum. Apparently there is a famous taxidermied animal, which is something that I am always seeking out in my life. So let's head inside. Follow me.
Everything in this museum is a multi-jurisdictional. We're Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana.
Okay.
And it's the surrounding counties is what we go by. We don't take in the entire states.
Okay.
It's hard to think of the early turn of the century back in 1910. We had policemen that walked the riverbank downtown. And lo and behold, he picked up this dog and the dog started walking with him. And next thing you know, the dog became his assistant for over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
11 years. It was this officer here. And the dog would grab criminals. And there's a tradition between the Ohio-Kentucky border. The border of Kentucky goes all the way up to the water line on the Ohio State side. So if a boat was pulled out in the river, they were officially in Kentucky.
Yeah.
This dog would go on a boat and grab people and yank them off.
Oh, wow.
But he ran with him for 10 or 11 years, and then the dog passed away, and they took up a collection, had him stuff like this. And then 2 years later, his master was killed in line of duty.
And what time period was this again?
1910, 1912, back in there.
Wow. His name is Handsome?
Handsome. And these are their different units that they used in years gone by, and the hats and clothing that they wore in those days. But animals counterfeit money, which is there.
Oh, those are counterfeit? Yeah, they don't. The color's way off on those.
Yeah. Behind you here is the old stop sticks, which police put out. Very dangerous to do.
To pop a tire?
That's what enters your tire.
Oh, so that's the tire with the sticks in it?
Yeah, with the stuff. And all these are is just hollow tubes.
Yeah.
That lets the air out of the tire.
Okay, so
the car to a halt.
So yeah, I guess they have to be hollow, or otherwise it would just seal.
Right.
When it punctured.
This is Kentucky's biggest cash crop. These are the various radar guns and speed checking devices that they've been using over the year.
Oh, this one's neat right here.
Yeah. When I came on, we had these things here on the dashboard. You'd have those on the dashboard.
That one right there.
What you do is get behind and pace a car. And
yeah.
When you get the same speed as me, hit that button on the top, and that'd tell you how fast they were going.
So basically, you just had to get your own car up to the same speed as them, and then.
This is the bulletproof vest here. Those are two different types. What the officers wear today. This shows you what a bulletproof vest can do. This officer was shot in the stomach with a 9mm.
Oh wow!
And that's the injury he sustained. That's his shirt that he had on.
Yeah, I mean, it looks painful, but it could have been a lot worse.
And what happened there was, he walked down to the police station down in Addison, Ohio, and there was a juvenile, 17-year-old juvenile that was out there drinking a can, and then when he got done, he threw the pop out in the street, and the officer walked up to him and said, "Hey, you can't do that, go pick that up." Well, what he didn't see, the kid had a 9mm gun in his other hand. And the kid gave him some verbal abuse, and he says, "You're under arrest for littering." Well, as he turned around, he shot him and knocked him down. But it was right in front of the police station. Some businessmen came out and helped him recover and apprehend.
So someone's going to shoot a police officer over a littering. Oh my gosh!
These are various medals here for heroism and for life saving. And this young lady here, she was a police officer downtown here, and her partner stopped the car, and she wanted to get one of the passengers out, and he shot at her with a .45. She bent over, it went through the top.
So that's
of
the
her
bullet
head.
hole in her hat?
Yeah.
Oh, it like went down and cut through her cheek?
You can see how close it come to killing her.
Oh gosh, yeah, just like a
little plastic surgery, and she's back, still on duty.
But it could have gone straight into her face. That's awful.
This is a Montgomery, Ohio local police officer who was chasing a guy for a robbery. And he comes up over a hill chasing this guy, and the guy's standing in the middle of the street, and he opened up on his car with a 9mm extended clip.
Oh,
and just shot the window out, and his bulletproof vest saved him. This is Katie Couric here. She was in her car downtown here, and a guy came over to boombox, walked up to her car, opened the car door, and shot her 5 times.
Oh,
for no reason.
gosh.
Absolutely no reason at all.
Just because she was a police officer?
Yeah. And he threw her over in the corner of the car, in the passenger seat down there, you can see where it was, and jumps in her police car and takes off. Well, she wasn't fatally wounded, so she pulled her gun, she shot and killed him. She shot him 5 times.
Wow.
And he wound up going to one of the breweries down here. And, luckily, she recovered, but she could never come back to work. There's a handcuff display showing various handcuffs that were used over the years. These up here are leg irons.
Huh. I noticed this over here.
Mm-hmm.
So it says the Iron Claw come along. How does that work?
That's the iron claw, they used to call that. It goes over the wrist. You
Yeah.
got 2 bones that come down here.
Yeah.
That thing ratchets down to the point where it starts compressing them 2 bones.
Yeah.
If you resist and they snap that, they can break your bones.
Really? So it's
And,
kind of a way to just like
very efficient.
grab someone and gain control of them.
Mm-hmm, but it's a ratchet. It's on there.
Oh, so they can just keep applying more and more pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's
And the same thing with this chain here. You could do that with that. That's got a regular phone in. Most of them were like this. And what would happen is the policeman would go to his call box. He'd hit this, and it would ring in the police station.
Yeah.
And then he'd pick that up and talk. Now that's when the communication was first there.
Oh wow. So it's like a telephone only for police officers.
Yeah.
Wow.
But this they could do hostage negotiations with the suspect.
So they plug it into what, like if there's a building or something.
Yeah, and they pull up the phone number, which is where this individual who's holding the hostage is, and try to talk to him and negotiate, a peaceful ending on it.
The scuba gear right here.
Yep, we got a lot of lakes and the rivers around here, and we use them quite a bit for evidence recovery and body recoveries and things like that. This here is used for going into buildings and do searches. It's a robot.
Okay.
It's got a TV camera on it, and
That's really
this
cool.
box here is usually run by the robot operator, and it's got a camera that he can see everything that the robot's seeing when it goes inside there. Yeah, it's heavy. Don't drop it on your foot.
So that'll just go straight through a normal door.
Yeah. You look at these uniforms here.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, these uniforms came from the Civil War.
Really?
These uniforms were between 1861 and 1865. When the war was over, the government had all these uniforms left. They said, let's donate them to police departments.
Really?
Well, all they did was remove the federal buttons and put local police buttons on them. Method of testing for bullets, they put a gun in here.
Yeah.
You'd send a body up to the coroner's office, and they come back with a piece of lead taken out of the body. And lo and behold, they recover a gun from a suspect, and they test fire it in here.
So they just shoot a gun into this box full of string?
Yeah, it's a string. And then they recover the bullet, and they can match it to one recovered from the body. Of course, you can see where they missed a couple times.
Oh my gosh.
But this thing was always closed whenever they test fired.
These are a couple of the lie detectors.
Oh, it's a polygraph.
Polygraph.
So this is the hot seat. This is where.
Yes, I think you still feel some grip marks on the bottom there.
So this is where they sat
I think
and
it did
got
help,
took their polygraph test.
Yep, taking their polygraphs.
Wow.
We got those from the FBI. They were in FBI, either the headquarters or the lobby of the FBI museum. A creepy carpet.
Old creepy Alvin Carpet.
He went to jail in 30. When does it say 36? I thought 39. And he got 30 years. He was released. He was from Canada. He was released and deported in '69, and he lived out another 10 good years. Get out of here.
Probably from the 60s or 70s.
Because I noticed.
I think it looks old as heck, though.
Yeah, they actually have meth in there.
That was before meth was the big deal, huh?
I guess. Yeah. And what else they got?
They come and go, though. It was like heroin. Heroin was real big in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
And then it dissipated. Now it's back.
And they have gasoline, paint thinner, and glue. And then, they have different. They're showing marijuana cigarettes, but they're showing different styles.
Which kind of blunts you want to roll?
End twisted, ends tucked, a bomber, and then there's a regular cigarette for comparison. And over here they actually have a poppy.
I had a heroin.
Yeah, I think that's it might be plastic or paper.
Then a peyote.
You know, I learned something over the weekend. It was last Friday, the Friday before Memorial Day, was used over 100 years ago for a short period of time. It did not work well. They measured, as you can see, arm length, height, which is normal, head size, from ear to ear, nose to cranium. It did not work. This was, as you can see, there's fingerprints, but this was right at the time when fingerprinting was it was known.
So this here is like to measure a criminal's head.
Yeah, like that. That's just like that.
So I guess do they arrest someone and then start measuring their head?
Yeah, everybody they arrested, they would measure them. They wouldn't do like, oh, this guy can be a criminal because his head was like that. But they would do that, and if you could imagine in Cincinnati, if you had caught a bad guy that was from out of town, say from Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah. How do you know, if, he did something bad here, is he wanted down in Asheville? Well, that was before they knew anything.
Yeah.
They didn't have the communications. So they thought that if they could get measurements and send that down via telegraph or whatever, phone, to Asheville, hey, what is this guy? You know this guy? And here's his measurements, no matter what he says his name is. Maybe that they can match some guys up. But it didn't work.
So these back here would be like cards with like all the measurements on them and the picture.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Those are some mock-ups of, this isn't a mock-up, that was used, but in pipe bombs, and I believe those were mock-ups to show what they could look like.
Oh, that one's covered in nails.
Yep. But the casing breaks apart in splinters and fragments too. The active ingredient in super glue, when heated, gives off a gas, and it'll adhere to body oils. Yeah. So if a piece of paper, say that note, was handled by somebody that wrote a threatening note or something.
Okay, so you get the fingerprints off of it.
You may be able to pull the fingerprints off there when heated by a light bulb. That's called clue spray.
Clue spray.
Yeah.
So how does a tuning fork tell how fast
it calibrates? It calibrates. The tuning forks themselves have to be calibrated and checked every year. But what they do is each one's marked with miles per hour. So say this is a 35 and a 55, whatever, and it's stenciled on there with the serial number of the tuning fork. And you hit the tuning fork, and then you put it in front of the turned on radar unit, and the radar unit will show the miles an hour it thinks it's going. Yeah. And if it's 35 and you're using 35,
so you have to match up the individual tuning fork.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen them do that,
but there's no way you're going to do that and then pull the guy over, because he's going to be long gone while you're sitting there testing tuning fork
before you go out.
Every day you use it, you have to calibrate it before and after. Section of weapons used in capital murder cases, weapons and other things that contributed to the case. For instance, loaded dice. They didn't kill anybody, but they led to somebody getting killed from a loaded dice, using it to take somebody's money.
They've pretty much all been used to murder people?
Most of them. Not all of them. This was concrete. It was used after the murder to weight down a body to try to put them, I guess it was a river or lake or something.
So that was to sink a body?
Yeah, tried to sink it, and that's not quite enough.
So all these are either used to kill someone or used to aid in the murder process.
Right. And plus, there's 2 books.
Yeah, it's crazy just to think all these guns have shot people to death.
And in a case.
So someone smashed this Coke bottle over someone's head. Mm-hmm. Gosh.
They were lucky. I mean, well, it killed them, I guess. But, I mean, look at the jagged. Those Coke bottles were bad. That's probably one.
That's like a really thick Coke bottle. That's not like the ones today.
They used to have 6 ounces. I don't know if they still make them. Or if you've ever seen them. Those were thick little, you could do some damage with anything.
And then someone used this hammer to beat their wife to death.
Oh, well, what about this one?
Yeah,
that's an amazing, or the axe handle, or the axe head.
Axe murder. Jeez.
They used to say
There's a battery that was used to zap a racehorse to make him run faster, and apparently when this got out, someone got murdered. And this right here, this pepper fogger.
Yeah. Yep.
So this just blasted out pepper
Yeah,
spray.
you can see right here's a good.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Jack,
Look at that.
can you figure out the downside of this?
The wind, maybe.
There you go.
So this is just people. This is just
Policeman. Yeah.
just people being tased. Got some police weapons in here. These
Cons.
Yeah.
batons. Those are solid wood. Yeah, that would hurt.
Oh, all of them work real well, and the saps also.
And they use these little.
Telescoping.
Yeah, they used to call them PR-24s before they contracted into it.
These slapjacks right here.
Mm-hmm.
It just slaps them on the back of the head.
Guys carried those back in the 60s.
Some tear gas canisters.
Yep.
Some old bean bags.
CS grenades too. I believe those are.
Grenades. Is that just like to make a big loud noise?
No, well, the flashbangs are in the other. I think those are CS or pepper spray or pepper fog or
Tear gas gun.
37 millimeter.
Did you see the
A sawed-off shotgun. Then we have this less lethal gun that shoots
That's pretty funny.
rubber bullets. Less lethal does not
It
mean
kills you,
non-lethal.
doesn't
Yeah.
really. It's not so-
Here we got some famous gangsters from the FBI display. It's Babyface Nelson. There's Pretty Boy Charles Floyd. These guys had names that accentuated their looks, I guess. And that is Machine Gun Jack, and he's playing a ukulele for some reason. So that was the Greater Cincinnati Police Museum. I love this place, and the guides were so good and so informative and so friendly and welcoming, and you can't forget Handsome, the police dog. This is absolutely worth anyone's time when they're in this area. But anyways, appreciate you guys coming along. If you'd like to see other museums, attractions, theme parks I've been to, please check the interactive map in the description. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider buying a t-shirt. Consider donating to Patreon. A $3 or more donation will get you a postcard once a month. But for now, this one's in the bag.